Well, Barack Obama sure has been quiet lately. What am I talking about? Well, I'll tell you, former President Barack Obama has never really been one to slow walk his criticisms of President Trump, yet here we are. 3 whole entire days after President Donald Trump decided Obama is radio silent. I wonder why that is. It couldn't possibly be because before President Barack Obama left office, he decided it'd be a good idea to go ahead and send.
Each day we wake up to some new assault on our democratic institutions. Another setback to the idea of the rule of law. An offense to common decency. Every day you wake up to things you just didn't think were possible. Each day we're told by those in high office to fear each other and to turn on each other, and that some Americans count more than others, and that some don't even count at all. Everywhere we see greed and bigotry being celebrated, and bullying and mockery masquerading as strength. We see science and expertise denigrated, while ignorance and dishonesty and cruelty and corruption are reaping untold rewards.
Yes, I don't know if these people thought this was a good idea. Democrats used this Jackson funeral to attack Trump and his base, disrespect his legacy to a level I've not seen before. Obama, Biden, Kamala, absolutely disgusting. Most divisive funeral in history that I've ever seen. I saw this video. I could not believe this was a funeral. It is important. We look into all these.
You show up to a man's funeral where the entire point is to talk about his life, his legacy, his accomplishments. And somehow, y'all managed to turn that into a damn political press conference. I mean, the audacity is almost impressive. Kamala got her out there talking about, I predicted a lot about what's happening right now. I'm not here to say I told you so. First of all, when someone says I'm not here to say I told you so, that's exactly what the hell they're doing. That's like saying no offense right before you say the most offensive known to mankind. This is a funeral, not a State of the Union therapy session. And then Obama steps up there with his dramatic voice like he's narrating a Netflix documentary. We're living in a time when it can be hard to hope. Every day, another assault on democracy. Another offense to common decency. You know what I think is an offense to common decency? Using a man's funeral as a political dog whistle roast session for an administration like they personally took the man out. That's wild to me. Because the last time I checked, funerals are supposed to be about the deceased, right? Not your loosely thin campaign speech. And let's not act brand new here. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you better get in line. Because wasn't it Jesse himself who once said on a hot mic that he wanted to cut nuts off for talking down to black folks? That's why I don't put it past anybody. People will barely talk to you in life and then turn around and get drunk and eat chicken at your funeral. And these politicians, man, can smile in your face, quote scripture, talk about unity, and then sneak their agenda into your damn eulogy. If you really want to honor the man, here's a right idea. Talk about him, his life, his fight, his accomplishments. Not your hatred for the other party, and then definitely not some sideways jab at the commander-in-chief. Like the whole too stupid to catch it. But hey, you know, that's politics for you. They'll turn anything into a campaign speech, even a fucking casket.
We are living in a time when it can be hard to hope. Each day we wake up to some new assault.
Yes, this guy posted this flashback footage from the 1999 Rainbow Push Coalition Conference shows Reverend Jackson praising Donald Trump's commitment to minority hiring and calling him a friend who was inclusive and supportive. President Trump has always been a friend to the black community. This is a black person posting this. At some point, I don't get why these people do this. Where is the decency? There is no decency here, no respect. You turn a whole situation like this to do campaigns, pass your political messages. I saw Biden, Kamala doing the same thing. It get crazy. You know, struggling to pander to the majority of black audience and attack some should not be in a place like this.
I regret ever being a part of the Democratic Party. I regret working for their campaigns. I regret all my activism. I regret volunteering for the party. I regret all the lies I believed. But that was before I believed in God. Jesus Christ saved my life in 2020 and led me out of the Democratic Party. Led me out like it was my own Egypt, because it was. I was a slave to it. And he led me to the promised land of the Conservative Party, the party who actually believes in God.
Another setback to the idea of the rule of law. An offense to common decency. Every day you wake up to things you just didn't think were possible. Each day we're told by those in high office to fear each other and to turn on each other, and that some Americans count more than others, and that some don't even count at all. Everywhere we see greed and bigotry being celebrated, and bullying and mockery masquerading as strength. We see science and expertise denigrated, while ignorance and dishonesty and cruelty and corruption are reaping untold rewards. Every single day we see that, and it's hard to hope.
When you listen to what Obama is struggling to do here, he's struggling to cause division the more. He said something like, some other people are more valued. What is he implying here? That is, the president is valuing more people, some people, and neglecting some. That is between the white and the black community. That is what Obama is trying to bring in here. If you notice, he's struggling to appeal to this black audience in these locations, which to me, it doesn't work in 2026. A lot of black people understand who Obama is. He has been doing this for a very long time, and they will easily fall into all this. But when you look at what people put out on social media now, that should tell you they are awake, they understand who he is. It is extremely difficult to clear off people the way he used to do. So saying all this, to me, it is uncalled for. What was the essence to use this whole, talk about the man's legacy, what he did? Yeah, that is simple. Imagine me coming to a funeral, I end up listening, because there are people here in different parties. Some are not happy being there listening to this, because that is not what they came for. They came there to grieve with the family. That is, must we politicize everything?
What did you think of the trap that Trump laid in the State of the Union address, where he, just show the tape there, because I think it's self-explanatory. And the Democrats didn't stand. I mean, obviously, it's a it's a deliberate trap, because they always played these games of Simon Says there at the State of the Union.
Well, I think you and I agree on this is all performative.
I know, but is it going to look bad in campaign ads?
I don't think anyone's going to remember that come campaign.
They will if they put it in the ad.
That just
goes through to get here. Trump! Go Trump! Hey, Murphy, you're scumbag. Thanks, man.
Our chamber is chanting USA. This is a sick person in the first.
I was there, and it was as horrific as I thought it would be.
She wasn't the only one. Look at SOT 35, CNN's Abby Phillip.
But he utilized almost like these game show type moments where you're seeing awards being presented.
They're just so disgusting.
Of course, he chose who did not vote in his favor and did not shake her hand there.
Here's the video. He shook everyone's hand. Everyone. There's the Chief Justice. All of them got their hands shaken. to the point where they had to come back on the air and say this in SOT 33.
But we should point out as he walks in, he's pretty close to the justices again as he comes down on the floor, that he did shake their hands there this evening.
Moment. No, that's not what happened at all.
Democrats to stand for the slain passenger in North. Our first priority is Americans rather than illegal on either of those two. I think they took his bait.
Can take away from the joyous moment as all Americans. And why are they putting a medal?
Oh, he's already under scrutiny for 1,000 reasons. Viral Patel posted this on X.
People on the left are absolutely losing their minds.
Because now it's our job.
I get suspicious when anybody, whether it's
no one should be above scrutiny.
I think that Whoopi Goldberg, you might want to think.
Isn't their whole testimony?
Don't use it as a platform.
Person's home, it's very easy to.
This is for the people in the United States who are terrorized and scared today.
The country's in such emotional turmoil.
And Republicans on both sides,
so amazing. And wasn't it so great?